Welcome, guys, to Canadian Yorker for another Town Talk. We are here to give you an update in regards to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, and I have a whole bunch of articles that I'm going to be covering today and going over the fight. So, just going back to last month, a lot of articles came out in regards to the Mike Tyson fight, so let's get into it. So this article is written by the worldboxingnews.net. Mike Tyson, the world's best fighter, can't draw 5,000 people. This was written on October 7th, 2024. Mike Tyson believes that the current pound-for-pound king of boxing is a star in his own right, but Terence Crawford can't draw a huge crowd. So Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, said Terence Crawford has struggled to nail down a significant fan base and compared pushes from today to his 1980s when many fighters had huge followings. So, Kuigios asked Mike Tyson about the differences between his heyday and the current top crop of head of his class for 2015. Mike Tyson replied, quote, this is a funny question because of technology. More people are able to see fighters now than they did when I was fighting. And Mike Tyson also says, quote, when you see these fighters, we made a lot of money when we were fighting for our time. You see these guys are fighting now, they're not making 10 if I'm talking about the little guys. So, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, and Tommy Hearn. These small guys, they're not making money like these. These guys are making $15 million in the 80s. That's like, I don't know, that's $45 million today. Time changes and they are just not the same money. The New Yorker, Mike Tyson, continued using Terence Crawford as his example, saying, quote, look, Terence Crawford in the box, he's fighting Errol Smith Spence, and he's the best fighter in the world, but he can't draw 5,000 people. So, like yourself, it has more to have to come with than just being the best. Mike Tyson also said, quote, you have to be entertaining, you have to be exciting. The best fighters in the world can't, like I said, they could beat anybody. They could beat anybody in the world, but they can't draw 5,000 tickets. That's because they're not exciting. He also said, quote, the way they make their money, because their opponents are very, like fame, they've got a big following on social media, but there are people, I'm sure there are talented guys that they could beat anybody, but they look terrible, like watching grass grow. At that point, Kugos interjected and said, let's not mention any names to try and keep Crawford out of the question. Crawford went to the top of a Saudi Arabia showpiece in August against Israel Madrimov. Although the fight is portrayed to have sold well, there remains more questions than answers regarding how many people actually attended and how many paid for a ticket. Reported pay-per-view sales also aligned perfectly well with what Mike Tyson pointed out, leaving boxing in a strange situation it currently finds itself in regarding the recognized best on the planet. So that article is written by Mike Tyson. What Mike Tyson had to say about today's current boxers last month, October 7th. Going forward in regards to the fight, in case there's any mishaps happening, Ryan Garcia actually said he will be replacing Mike Tyson in case Mike Tyson has any emergency, immediate issues, and the fight is canceled. And so this article came out May 28th. I believe I already covered this article, so sorry about that, guys. We're gonna have to go forward here. I'm gonna have to move forward with this article. So October 9th, this article is from Talksports.com. Jake Paul makes huge $5 million offer to Mike Tyson to bet ahead of Netflix clash with tattoo forfeit. So Jake Paul has upped the ante ahead of his upcoming clash with Mike Tyson. The problem child has made a habit out of making bets with his opponents before fight night, and in the lead up to his next showdown with Mike Tyson on November 15th, the YouTuber turned boxer has offered Mike Tyson an extra $5 million if he is able to survive 4 rounds with him. If he isn't able to, Jake Paul, to post Mike Tyson, gets an I Love Jake Paul tattoo as a forfeit. Jake Paul said, quote, Mikey, if you can last more than 4 rounds with me, I'll give you an extra $5 million, he said. But if you don't, then you have to get a tattoo that says, I love Jake Paul. Deal or no deal? The contest is being sanctioned as a professional heavyweight bout under the auspices of the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. However, the fight will take place with a modified rule set. Both men will box over 8 2-minute rounds rather than traditional 3-minute rounds, and will duke it out in 14-ounce gloves instead of the 10-ounce gloves pro boxers wear. The length of the rounds was changed on Mike Tyson's request, with the former undisputed heavyweight champion explaining at the lunch press he wants shorter rounds for more action. If we have shorter rounds, we'll fight more and more action. So Tyson has competed in a professional bout since retiring against Kevin McBride in 2005, and only fights he's been involved with the exhibition with Corey Sanders in 2006 and Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. So that is what the article has to say in regards to Jake Paul placing a bet on Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson actually responded to Jake Paul about the same day, on October 9th. Mike Tyson must forego early KO to collect on Jake Paul's offer at that run already. Here is what Mike Tyson has to say. Mike Tyson responded to Jake Paul's $5 million offer, and this article was written on October 10th, 2024. A day later, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. This article is on USA Today. Mike Tyson is aware of Jake Paul's offer to pay Tyson $5 million if the former heavyweight champion can get past the 4th round of their fight scheduled for November 15th. The catch is, if Tyson fails, he would have to get a tattoo that says, I love Jake Paul. The price isn't right, says Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson says that Jake Paul should offer more. And how much? And Mike Tyson said probably about $20 million. At 58, Tyson is thought to have to be the best chance of beating Jake Paul if he scores an early knockout. But if Tyson indicated the KO blow will come too early, Tyson says, quote, listen, I don't expect him to come head on and fight me, so I have to catch him for a couple of rounds, he said. During a Zoom interview, Tyson sat next to David Cinnamon, chairman at LF Go, a company that makes flavored caffeine pouches. Tyson has partnered with the company. Tyson says, quote, I believed in the product. I thought it was the right product for my my image and who I am, and it happens to work, believe it or not. With the fight about 5 weeks away, Tyson said he's sparring 6 to 7 rounds a session. I feel great. I am ready now. Cinnamon attested to as much. I am right here and I live, and I can see his arms go up. Cinnamon said, I'm betting on him when I leave this room. So, Mike Tyson has watched the offer change from $5 million to $20 million, which this is a bet that Jake Paul has given him. Continuing the article. So, this article is written from the Bleacher Report, where Jake Paul said he knows what Mike Tyson's strategy is. Jake Paul reveals strategy for Mike Tyson fight, says he studied hours of video. So Jake Paul has really put in his homework and studied hours and hours of footage to get a better understanding of how Mike Tyson's going to fight him. Jake Paul's much hyped boxing match against Mike Tyson is looming soon, with the two fighters going at it on November 15th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. In an interview Jake Paul spoke with Seth Abramovich of The Hollywood Reporter and explained his strategy for beating Mike Tyson. Um, Quote, this is what Jake Paul said: strategy for beating Mike Tyson. Jake explains to me over breakfast is to just box on the outside and then use my footwork to be more agile and get him chasing me and then attack him when he's out of position. That should frustrate him. Jake Paul suspects after studying hours of Tyson's fight tape that Tyson will try to trap me under the ropes and get blows off to angles on each side. Jake Paul, a 27-year-old social media and YouTube star, is 10-1 in his boxing career and 7 wins by knockout. He last fought in July, mixed martial artist and bare knuckle boxer Mike Perry, defeating him in the 6th round TKO. Right now, Jake Paul is a negative 275 favorite to beat Mike Tyson for DraftKings Sportsbook, giving him a 73% implied odds to win. Jake Paul said that plenty of tape to parse on Tyson. The ex-champ went 56-6 with no contests during his illustrious career. In his prime, he was an absolute superstar, wrecking his opponents left and right. At one 37-0 record with 33 knockouts. Tyson's matches routinely ended early, perhaps none other more notoriously than when he beat Michael Spinks by first-round KO in 91 seconds to retain his heavyweight titles in 1988. The back end of Tyson's professional career didn't go as well. Most notably, he suffered a massive upset loss to Buster Douglas to relinquish his heavyweight crown in 1990 and the infamous ear-biting incident that led to disqualification against Evander Holyfield in 1997. Tyson last fought in June 2005. That said, it'll be interesting to see how the 58-year-old fares against Paul. Obviously, age works against him, as does nearly 2 decades outside the ring, but Tyson is also an elite athlete in his prime and could very well have something in the tank for one more round in the ring. So that article is written on October 9th, and everybody can check that out. I'm going to be going forward. This another article here written by WorldBoxingNews.net. This article was written on October 14th, and the title of it is called "Mike Tyson Losing to Jake Paul Can't Be a Surprise," written by the WBC champ. The current WBC Bridgerweight champion Kevin Lerena says Mike Tyson losing against Jake Paul won't be a surprise victory. The South African recently elevated to full champion after Lawrence O'Kelly vacated, will be tuning in like millions of others to see how the fight goes down on November 15th. However, Lerena will be rooting for Tyson to keep his legacy intact. Speaking to WBN, he offered Deontay Wilder to crack at the title. Lerena believes Tyson has earned enough respect to continue fighting at 58 if he so wishes. Lerena says, quote, "It's an entertaining event when we are in the entertainment business. Now I'm definitely going to watch it as it's Mike Tyson. The man is a legend." He also says, quote, "I know it becomes harder the older you get, but Mike Tyson is a legend, and no matter his age, you've got to put massive respect on his name. He can still put anyone out if he lands clean." He says also, "Yes, this is boxing. Anything can happen. It's a fight, and Jake Paul is younger and takes the sport more seriously, so he will leave no stone left unturned. Having said that, I hope Mike pulls off a big victory just for his legacy. But if Jake Paul wins, there can't be a massive upset, to be honest, because of the age. I think experience is going to count for this one, so I'm saying Mike Tyson will win." Lerena has become a marked man since being crowned WBC king after a spell as interim ruler. Outgoing champion O'Kelly opted to move up to heavyweight rather than follow through with a mandatory order. Like Lerena, O'Kelly wants to face Wilder in a Bridgerweight title class until the Bronze Bombers manager, Shelley Finkel, ruled it out. "Please thank Lawrence O'Kelly for the offer, but we have no interest in the WBC Bridgerweight title," Finkel told World Boxing News exclusively. Those words could also have a knockout effect on the runner in his quest to face the big punching Tuscaloosa native. So that's an article written by on WBN, WorldBoxingNews.net. Um, so Kevin Lorena definitely is pulling for Mike Tyson to win in this fight going forward. The last article I'm going to be leaving with you here, which is kind of interesting. Jake Paul actually revealed that he has spent a lot of money on this fight, and this was from the Mirror.com, and in it I'm going to be reading about it. So it says Jake Paul reveals on the Mirror.com that he lost $30 million as his life hit the downward spiral ahead of the Mike Tyson fight. So reading up on this, Jake Paul has opened up on the dark period in his life which led him to take up boxing, with the YouTuber admitting he considers taking his own life after losing millions of dollars. Jake Paul opened up about choosing the boxing ring as his redemption arena after spiraling into financial ruin and dark thoughts due to his brother Logan's controversial suicide forced video scandal that happens in Japan. As the clock ticks down to his most monumental fight yet, Jake Paul is all set to fight it out with legendary pugilist Mike Tyson on November 15th at Texas AT&T Stadium. The stakes are sky high, not with just pride, but also a whopping shared $80 million on the line for the YouTuber turned boxer and a heavyweight icon. Paul boasts a 10-1 boxing record, and his solitary loss dealt by Tommy Fury in 2021 via points decision. His pivot to the sport in 2020 followed a tumultuous chapter marked by excessive partying and substance abuse, which he traced back to the fallout from his brother's rightly contentious actions. Logan Paul ignited worldwide outrage in early 2018 when he posted a video featuring a suicide victim that he encountered in the forest in Japan. The clip brought intense scrutiny not only on himself but on Jake Paul too, sending shockwaves through Jake's once thriving career. Speaking candidly to the reporter, Jake recounted the ordeal. "I got lumped into all my brother's hate. It was like screw the Pauls, screw both those people. It was bad. The suicide force thing really ruined my career and outcome. I lost about $30 million in deals. There was one $15 million deal for retail products that fell apart. They were able to get out of it because of a morality clause. Paul's life had spun out of control with excessive drinking and drug use in Los Angeles. He even contemplated suicide at one point. I had a plan. I was going to put a bunch of gas cans in my Lamborghini and then get really drunk and drive off the top of this cliff in Calabasas. It's called Stunt Road. However, he chose not to follow through with his plan, fueled by determination to prove his detractors wrong. I was not going to let them win. I was like, I'm going to fight. This is what every social media hater wants is to wake up and see Jake Paul get himself killed. Currently, Jake Paul is gearing up for the much anticipated fight with Tyson, although criticized for setting up the fight believed to be a money-making stunt. He emphasizes it's not about financial gain. At a recent press conference, he stated defiantly making history, underlying his aspirations. This is what it's all about for me. I'm a kid from Ohio. Jake Paul said, quote, "They'll never give me credit. That's the way it is. If I was walking on water, they would say it's because I couldn't swim. And this is to make history. People think I'm going to get knocked out by this big, strong, powerful guy." Jake Paul also says, quote, "All the people in my comments say, look at his power. He's going to get killed. This has taken a chance to fight somebody as vicious as Mike can be. You've got to risk it for the biscuit. That's the name of the game. I'm here to make history. I'm here for a challenge. I'm here to fight one of the most dangerous men in all of boxing." So guys, that is what Jake Paul has went through. I just want to kind of leave you guys with this last article here. Jake Paul actually lost $30 million in the situation that happened with him and Logan Paul um, when when they went to Japan and they went to the suicide forest there. So they lost. I mean, they got into some major trouble in Japan. Um, so just wanted to leave you guys with this article here. So I'm gonna definitely bring you more updates going forward. Today is November 13th, by the way. So we're only 2 days away from the fight, and I want to keep updating you more and more about this. And so, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.